Bugatti Veyron Review. By 1999 there was a styling proposal and even an engine of sorts, initially with 18 cylinders. By 2000 the styling was clearer and the power plant had been reduced to 16 cylinders, effectively two 4.0-liter VW V8s. A year later VW announced it was indeed going to build the Veyron and that it would have 1001 PS, 987 bhp, and do over 400 km per hour. Then the real trouble started. The engineers knew that to announce a car with such huge power and speed claims was one thing, but that to make it was entirely another. For a year and a half they tried, and for a year and a half they failed, until eventually Bugatti's boss, Dr. Newman, was removed. Then a new leadership team was brought in late 2003, Dr. Wolfgang Schreiber arriving as the new chief engineer. Having previously been in charge of transmissions at VW, Audi, he was the bloke responsible for the original DSG gearboxes. A few months after that Thomas Piech, merchant banker, Le Mans race driver and well-known financial troubleshooter, was appointed as president, having been headhunted personally by then VW boss Bernd Piech. Then years later and having changed or re-engineered an incredible 95% of the components, the Veyron became reality. And all of Dr. Piech's original dynamic targets had been hit. Fast forward a decade and the Veyron's successor made it from paper to production in the form of a 1479 bhp, a 260 miles per hour plus evolution, otherwise known as the Bugatti Chiron. The Veyron is a car of engineering beauty, not the visual work of Monet. So it's no disservice to bluntly describe the Veyron as a weird, insect-like machine with four huge tires, an absurd number of scoops and winglets along the flanks and across the roof, featuring a distinctive white and red badge on the nose that reads Bugatti. On the tail are written the letters E and B. On top of the engine, which has no cover and is exposed directly to the air for cooling purposes, are the numbers 16 and 4, 16 cylinders, 4 turbochargers. Which, in case you were wondering, equates to 987 bhp and 922 pounds-foot in standard form. It's numbers like those produced by its 8.0-liter W16 engine, the W configuration suggesting, in effect, two 4.0-liter V8s attached to a common crank, in where the Veyron's real beauty lies. Launching a different version of a Veyron is not merely a case of increasing the power or taking the roof off. The world's fastest version of the world's fastest car, the Super Sport, for example, is virtually a brand new car in its own right, with everything on it that moves either redesigned or re-engineered over the standard 16.4 version. Aside from more power and torque, up to 1183 bhp and 922 pounds-foot, there are extra cooling ducts beneath the headlights and by its huge NACA ducts on the roof. The A-pillars are narrower than on the original Veyron and allow much better visibility from behind the wheel, something that's needed when you're going more than 250 miles per hour. The open-top Grand Sport and Grand Sport Vitesse models do without fixed roofs, instead getting a transparent polycarbonate units that weigh 19 kilograms and can be lifted on and off after pushing two release buttons, but cannot be stowed in the car. As a result, Bugatti has incorporated an emergency carbon fiber soft top that can be stowed in the boot and used at speeds of up to 99 miles per hour if it rains. To finish the range off, in 2010, the Bugatti Veyron Supersport was born, which saw this range topper get an additional 198 bhp to take its output to 1187 bhp, allowing it to reach 268 miles per hour, as well as being given an eye-watering price tag of over £2 million.